Good morning, Pace. This is Cherubim731. We're going to be showcasing Castlevania Circle of the Moon, a GBA launch title from 20 years ago. Really fun game. If you know the plot of Castlevania, we're going to be either keeping Dracula from coming back or putting him back in the ground. In this instance, we're going to go ahead and fail keeping him from coming back. Here he is. Camilla's bringing him back. Our main character is Nathan Graves here running in. We got a short cutscene to start. Dracula's back, Transylvania's doomed. This is an all bosses run, so we gotta kill him and all his friends. Long fall happening here. Nathan has the strongest knees in the Castlevania franchise, so it's not a big problem. We'll be making our way back up there shortly. And through this first area, we don't actually have run yet. It's an upgrade you get for the Metroidvania in this game. So we're going to be sliding around here, and our objective in Catacombs is going to be accessing the primary mechanic of this game, which are the dual card system. Monsters drop cards, which give Nathan special abilities. There's one. There are 10 god cards and 10 animal cards. We need one of each to activate the special abilities. So the second one is a 20% chance off this bonehead. We're just going to reload a couple times till we get that to happen. There we go. Now, by pressing a button, we can activate our special ability for Mercury and Salamander, which is a fire whip. We're not going to be using it at all, but it is nice to see here, right there. Look, our whip's all fiery, very neat. We're going to slide through here, getting our first upgrade, the dash boots, and saying goodbye to Earth Demon. Sometimes he likes to try and knock you down, but we won't be doing that. Now, we activated Fire Whip the first time, but the developers did a very good job making sure you can't access special powers unless you use 2 cards you control. However, they didn't lock the DSS system after you start the animation, and it doesn't check what power to give you until you finish. That's DSS glitch. That is going to give us access to every ability in the game, so long as we know where we're going blind. Oh, that's a knockdown. In this version of Vampire Killer, the mode we're running, you want to make sure to just faceplant into every enemy while you're running, because that won't get you knocked down. But as you can see, getting hit while you're in the air or getting hit by an enemy attack will knock you down. That's slow. We're going to try and prevent that as much as possible. I have somebody counting knockdowns in the back because I'm donating $2 to charity for every time I get knocked down during the run. Hopefully we can farm a little money by me not moving correctly. First boss is Dracula's dog. We're going to go over here. Dracula's dog Cerberus here won't actually start attacking us until we get him fully on screen. So we're just going to stand at this platform and throw bones at him. This is Mr. Bones. He's going to be one of 2 main boss killing mechanics we use here. He is a very weak, fragile boy, and he throws a sad, slow attack, but there's a 1 in 8 chance for that attack to be a big bone that does max damage. And whenever you see that big bone, get the big bones in chat, bone zone in chat. We're going to need a lot of those to get through this run, so we gotta love Mr. Bones. The downside of Mr. Bones is that if we move slowly and our attack is bad, and if we get hit or sneezed on by anything at all, we will die instantly, run over. It's no good. So we're going to try and use Mr. Bones only when it's safe. Got some unlucky bone RNG, another knockdown there, which causes us to be a little low on mana, running a little slowly here. Gonna move back to another DSS glitch, start our double speed again, and we killed Dracula's dog, so the logical next step is just go ahead and kill Dracula. He knocked me and my friend Hugh down the long pit and told us he has no time for children. So we're gonna go ahead and make sure he knows who he's messing with here. Right back up the long climb here. Watch out for skeleton bombers. back so soon. We usually casually wouldn't see this area for a very long time. There's nothing to do here because if you remember at the top of this is just a very long empty fall. But we are speedrunners, we like glitches, and there's one here that makes the GBA very confused about where Nathan's supposed to be. We're at the top of the screen down here, and if we do a very specific summon as we transition into the frame, we're gonna zip, and there's the door that Dracula's hiding behind. We're gonna clip into that, and just one more clip here. Hey, look, Dracula. And he didn't really expect us to be here just yet, so we're gonna rub our face on this door, walk in here, wave hi to Dracula, everybody, and we'll show him our 1 in 8 chances, see how lucky we are today with Mr. Bones. This fight's usually started by a cutscene, but since Dracula's not ready for us yet and we entered from the door, woo! We're out of mana. We're just gonna give him a little spins here while we keep on moving. Get some mana back, and his AI is not active, so that's all there is to it. Dracula 1 is down. We're going to be leveling up a lot here. The reason we're going to be leveling up is we're on the Japanese version of the game. Dracula gives a ton of experience. The XP scaling in the Japanese version is actually different. It's actually easier. You need less XP for level. So killing Dracula second is going to put us all the way up to level 27. It's going to be really nice for the rest of the castle movement. The downside is that we do get to spend a little bit of time watching the level up message happen. Feel a little sexual accomplishment whenever you see that level up message. Feels good, a little dopamine hit there. Don't worry everyone, our master is safe. The guy we don't know anything about in the background, that's Hugh's dad. He's gonna get taken out of the castle. Dracula wanted to sacrifice him, but we stopped that. Short cutscene here where Dracula monologues and tries to tell us that we may have beaten him here, but this isn't his final form, and that we couldn't possibly beat his final form. He challenges us, and we're going to promptly ignore him and leave, because we got to kill the rest of his friends before we come back. Back to double speed, and we're off through the castle. A lot of fun movement here. We must teach all the bosses that no creature of the night is safe from Nathan Graves. Keep on moving. Next up is going to be the machine tower, clock tower in this game. We're going to fight the Iron Golem, and we're going in the back entrance. A little zip here sends us right up to the top of the machine tower. Allows us to skip a lot of slow platforming and annoying cycles. Nice easy quip. We're gonna run past some gun-toting hyenas here. We got some very specific damage tanking here. Don't get shot by that guy, it hurts a lot. Moving in here, we're gonna watch out for the Fox Archer. Run on past. And this is the base mode of the run for all bosses in Vampire Killer. There are multiple modes in this game. This one is the original version. Nathan is pretty tanky for all his levels. Level ups help him be a lot more tanky, so we really do just get to run into everything and keep it moving. Here's Iron Golem. We're going to try and send him some bones. If he starts moving and getting scary, remember we do take one shot at the skeleton, so we are going to make sure he didn't start moving. Big moan. And that's the Iron Golem done. He was going to come in here and talk to us about how we aren't very good at this, and he really should be the one with our special rope, the legendary hunter whip that Nathan holds. Hugh has obviously not watched the speedrun because you don't see very much of the hunter whip in this run. Hugh thinks we're going around whipping everything, and we're really just sitting here playing with our trading cards. Now that Golem's dead, we're going to make our way back down through the audience chamber. Notice it's a really low-level area. Move past that soft block. We don't want to go in that pit. Or we will stay there for the remainder of our days. And here during this fall, you can see this is a segment that we skipped with the zip on the way into Machine Tower. A lot of falling down. Falling is a lot faster in this game than jumping up, unless you're zipping, at which point vertical movement is the way to go. Just gotta schmoove through here. We're going to the outer wall for a second. Hopefully these skeleton bombers are nice. They get moving back and forth. Oh, very kind. Let's give a smooch and get moving. No knockdowns in outer wall. It's a good day. Let's see if you're nice. You are. Let's go. Oh my god. Very sad. Now we just gotta do a little roundabout maneuver. We're going back to the ceiling of that room with another zip here. Going to the back entrance of Necromancer. There we go. Moving along the wall. If I could get just a little more game audio on the headset, it's a little quiet. Here's Necromancer. He's telling us about how our master and he are doomed, even though both of them left the castle after we killed Dracula 1. Should be nice and safe. We're going to give him some flowers because he's a sad lonely boy. We can use a bone on this man, but it is not safe. He moves around and it's a little sketchy. Just flowers a little more consistent, easier. Here's Nathan forgetting that his friends are safe, worrying about them, and we're going to move on. Thank you, game audio is good now. Killing Necromancer gives us shoulder tackle, which allows us to break specifically these crumbly blocks here. Allows us to move through here, and we're heading towards one of the later bosses in the game, Camilla, the lady we saw at the beginning summon Dracula in the first place. We're not supposed to fight her yet, but she gives us the Rock Wing, which is this game's flight equivalent. Very nice for movement, so we're going to go ahead and grab that now. This segment of castle movement, Eternal Quarter, makes you very grateful to be running Vampire Killer because just hold right for a little while, slam your face into a bunch of enemies, and keep moving. These hands will grab you and slow you down a lot, so they will be jumped around, but not a problem for us. No grabs is good. And now, kind of a weird aspect of Mr. Bones here, he can actually fly. We're going to show you a trick here for the back of the waterway called Bone Float. We're going to get it. Let's see here. We're going to buffer it here because it is a frame perfect trick that needs us to throw a bone on this frame, which allows us to leave the ground. The game thinks we're on the ground now, and then forgets kind of what we're supposed to be doing, unclips us, and we float to the ceiling, gets us into the back of the waterway. Why does that happen? We're not totally sure, but it does, and it makes getting in here a lot faster, so we do take advantage of it. The devs for the DBA did their best, but there are a lot of weird isms about this game that don't really make sense. We're happy to exploit. The most grievous of which is something that we'll showcase in a short run after this one in any percent, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Here's Camilla. She transforms into a giant chimera riding a skull that shoots laser beams. We're not really sure why. It doesn't actually tell us anything about that in the story or the lore, but who knows? We're going to use Cockatrice, the secondary boss killing mode here. It's a summon, brings some rocks on the screen. One little whip should finish off Camilla. There we go. The very powerful Hunter Whip. Get jealous, you. We're gonna move through to the cutscene here. Another little aspect of the DSH glitch. Whenever we summon, we're gonna menu again afterwards for the most part, And we're going to change our cards so that we give an element to our summon. The card you'll be seeing us use most is 4-9, Mars Unicorn, which gives our holy aspect to the summon. There's the Rockwing. As creatures of the night, the majority of Dracula's minions are weak to holy. We're going to be using that a lot. Oh, ceiling appreciated. There we are. That's the little bit of the Rockwing movement we just got. We're going to move through chapels. Lots of zips here. If we do this first one perfectly, we actually save one. We get a double zip. Let's see if we can. Oh, that's a single, but it's okay. We'll do one more real quick here. Kill some swords because they're annoying. Another runs. Here we go. Let's try and turn around, get the perfect jump. There's Rockwing up here. One more zip. And that's Chapel. We just move on through to the boss. You can see the little dust clouds at the top of the screen when we're out of bounds. When we fall into these zones, we want to make sure that we are very careful about where we land, because if we lose track of where we are outside when we're falling, if we miss the door, we are just going to fall into the Game Boy Advance's memory, never to be heard from again. It's not a good time, but we're going to come up here, check on our friend Hugh. How's he doing? Not great, it looks like. He's mad because he's getting dumpstered by a cow that's stuck in a wall. Don't worry, Hugh. Big Brother Nathan will take care of it for you. We're not going to see much of a drum like here. He's going to be off screen. We're going to summon some rocks in his face, and that'll be a drum like. Hugh can't even handle a chained up ram. Look at that guy. It's a shame. Hugh, you're going to need more than a special rope to be better than us. Maybe you should consider collectible card games. You might have better luck. Here's a short little cutscene where Hugh gets mad at us and tells us that we're not any good. It's only the power of the whip that we wield. Hasn't been paying attention. But that's okay. We'll let him go pout in a corner. We'll whip some sense into him later and keep on moving. Now's the portion of the run once we leave Chapel where we're heading to Underground Gallery. That is where the zone level wants us to be around the level we are. We're a little over leveled, but definitely not as much as these other areas. So when we get there, we are going to be having to avoid a little bit more damage. It is going to be a little more dangerous. The next two splits a little spookier, but we'll just enjoy our run out of Chapel so far. That room we moved through was the first room, last room we skipped with our zip. Here's the second room we skipped. And finally, we'll be going into the first room we skipped. You get to see a lot of the content we skipped with zips here. In this game, there are a lot of platforming obstacles you have to overcome and move very specifically through. They kind of made a winding maze going up in a lot of places in order to save space in rooms and stretch out playtime. That's why whenever we're climbing, we tend to zip, because it's much faster. We don't have to play with any of those walls they put in front of us. Nathan Graves doesn't respect walls, but we get a great soundtrack here in Gallery moving on through. We're gonna jump past some imps, watch out for some spooky ghosts. We got mantises here, that's one knockdown. I'm expecting 3 knockdowns in this room. If they raise their hands, we don't get knocked down. No good. One more? No, unlucky. That's okay though. Next is bees. We use the stopwatch we picked all the way back in Machine Tower for this, and this room is a nightmare without it, so it's really nice that we have that routed in. Bees just stand still, don't bother us at all. It's on to one of the bosses. Oh, good. We're gonna reload this room. We don't like ghosts, that was bad luck. And here's zombie dragons. Hopefully they behave. They move their heads in random patterns, and they have couple different attacks. We're good with most of them. We really just don't want them to slam their heads into the wall because that would make us have a slow fight. They don't get hit by the rocks if they're off screen. Looking pretty good so far, and that is Zombie Dragons. All dead. We're very lucky we got a good pattern there. Nice and humble. Wait for the door here. We're gonna grab a couple hearts here. And the push ring gives us the very powerful ability to push boxes. What other incredibly potent ability could Dracula lock behind two undead dragons? We got another room here with some tight movement. We call it the Garni room, and that's because I hate it and the movement is really slow and bad. That poison armor likes to bully you and knock you down. And I asked my friend Garnitrex how to do better in that room, and he told me to get good. So I called it the Garni room, and we tried to get good. And we'll zip up there with the rock wing. We're moving back to Ob's Tower. Through Audience Room, we're actually going to have some more powerful monsters here. As a result of killing Camilla, we've put the castle into an advanced state. So this is where certain monsters are replaced with higher level ones to try and give Nathan a harder time. Doesn't make a difference to us though. We don't mess with any of them. We did not hit the homie room. So we're going to need to save a little bit here. It's a little bit of a time loss, but that's okay. Observation Tower. Fans of the Castlevania series will recognize this is where they decide to put the song Vampire Killer. Little remix here. Do one more zip here. Stick our head up there. Great. Get away from these sirens. Move along the ceiling. We're actually going to stop at the save point because I forgot to hit one earlier. In this area, we are no longer over leveled for. Very good to have full health. You'll notice our health really dipping as we run through these horse armors. They're not the scariest though. We're going to have dark armors up here. They are made of nightmares if you're running this game casually. We can take 2 hits from these guys before we die. Where we're going to use another one of our stopwatches to slow them down. They're so high level, the stopwatch doesn't actually stop them. It just slows them down a little bit, which is good enough for us. Lets us sprint past them without them noticing us for the most part. I'm going to grab a safety health upgrade here. This area, like I said, is one of the higher level, scarier areas. And even though that's the truth, it is the only area in the game that doesn't have a save before the boss. Really, really kind of rude there. Oh, yep, dark armor getting his attack in. We're going to get a couple more hearts here. And look, it's Hugh. He's been seduced by Dracula's power. He's evil now. He really wants to take our special rope. If I had the choice and it would make the fight faster, I would just give it to him, because we're not going to use it for the rest of the run, but he insists on fighting us for it, proving he's better. We're going to go ahead and summon Cockatrice again, and this time we're going to add the darkness element, because he was still a good boy despite his misgivings. So he is weak to darkness. He's going into phase 2, one more summon here. This is a little bit early. I think we're going to have to go ahead and send a whip or two his way. Let's see. Oh, nope. Last rock. We got it. Very nice. Sorry, Hugh, you won't get to see the Hunter Whip that you love so much. He realizes the error of his ways, apologizes to us, and says he places his hope in us to stop Dracula. And our reward is the key to the door that we glitched into 20 minutes ago. Very good. Oh, we want to stopwatch this. We got a very tight cycle on the way out here. Don't raise your sword, thank you very much. Watch out for the devil. Not today, Satan. And we keep on moving. That man is very rude. He can one-shot you, and he likes to teleport in front of you while you're running, which is why it's very important we have the stopwatch active there. But now we get to relax a little bit, have a chill, and head to the warehouse, where there are a bunch of boxes for us to push around, and death waiting at the bottom of it. Nice relaxing split before the last split of the game, which is the final Dracula fight, where things get a little sketchy. Moth's trying to get in our way here. Remember, we don't want to get hit while we're in the air. Getting knocked down is slow and sad. Watch out for spooky chairs. Somehow more scary than the giant animated armor shooting lightning balls. There is another trick you can use with frame advance to skip some of these box puzzles. It's not in this category, however. You can find a way, if you're multiple frame perfect inputs, to have Nathan fall on a falling box and slide as it's falling through these gaps. We don't do that in this run, though. Thank you for being kind, Mr. Fox Archer, not shooting me while I'm pushing that box. And then we'll use our final stopwatch here to stop the succubi from flying around, being very random and knocking us down. One last push puzzle here before death. Get out of here, bonehead. Let's see if we can defy gravity here. Nope, that's okay. We'll push the box a little bit. Fine, Castlevania, you win. Now the obligatory death fight of the game. No cutscene or anything. Very easy. We're still quite overleveled for this guy. 2 cockatrice summons, 1 for each phase, should be enough. And the devs for this game made a very interesting choice for a second phase here. Death transforms into his true form, which, as everyone knows, is a strange, scythe-wielding, bull-horned crab monster with a spire body. We don't really get it. Doesn't make a difference. We don't see him do much. That's death down, and we only got 1 left. Going back here. All right, Dracula, all of your friends are dead. We're coming back for you now. We're going to do a safety save here. Dracula 2 can very much kill us, and we hate to lose the run for that, so just going to do that for safety. It's a marathon after all. We don't want Dracula to shut it down. And our final time in the big climb here as we make our way back up to fight Dracula once more. We don't have to zip because we have the Rockwing, and we don't have to glitch into the door because we found a key. Thanks, Hugh. Very nice door opening sound effect there. Alright, so Dracula Phase 2, we're going to need 4 bones to push him out of Part 1 of this fight. We want to keep him in the middle. He has 3 attacks: meteors, lasers, and bubbles. Lasers are great, meteors are bad, bubbles are okay. That's meteors. We're going to go ahead and I've got a meteor coming for my face, so we're gonna use invincibility here to avoid that. These meteors will kill us. They are not fun or kind. So we're just gonna be safe and go invincible for it. Now it's gonna be either bubbles or lasers. He always shows us each of his attacks in the first 3 before he starts rotating. Lasers is good. We're gonna hope for big bones here. Please 1 and 8, let me see it. No, unlucky. That's all right. We got more time. We're gonna keep him right here in the middle. Take a little hit just to keep things interesting. We'd hate to have a safety net for any of this, and bubbles kill bones in 1 hit anyway, so it's not really a big deal. Come on, Dracula. 1 big bone would feel pretty good right here. 1 more? Nope. All right. Stay in the middle. Not meteors. That's meteors. That's okay. Some bad luck. We're going to go ahead and just summon here. And give the holy attribute to that. Put a little bit of damage into Dracula. And this way, we can come back and hopefully this next bone will put him into phase 2, the final phase of the fight. Very not humble Dracula, but that's okay. What can you expect? Bubbles again, unlucky. Just keep fishing for those bones. 1 and 8. You know, when you think about it, we're very lucky to have avoided the 1 and 8 for so long. It's really incredible luck. Hopefully we get lasers, not meteors again, please, Dracula. That's lasers, great. Let's see a big bone, come on. There it is. Let's get one for the road. 1 more, Mr. Bones, it doesn't matter. No, he says 1 big bone for you is all you get. That's okay. Now we gotta avoid the Dracula bus. He'll charge 2 to 4 times here. There's 2. Let's see if he is charging again. He is. And the full 4 charge. We're gonna get a summon in here, Thunderbird. We need 2 summons to kill him, and time should be coming shortly. Let's see if we get some humble hits. We should have time to get the second summon here. It's a little tight, but let's see if we can get ready for time. That is time. Transylvania is saved. Dracula and all his friends are dead, and we get to move on with our lives. There we go. 3319, not too bad. Happy with that. We're going to run out here. We actually do have a little bit more time. I'm going to go ahead and showcase the any percent using this new glitch that we found. All of that castle movement, all of those other bosses, all optional. We can just be sent by Dracula and immediately send him back in the ground. We don't have to wait at all. We can go ahead and, yep, we go ahead and get a new timer in 3, 2, 1, go. Same intro. This run, in fact, spends more time in cutscenes than it does in gameplay. So this is going to be using a glitch called nuclear radiation. We combined a lot of the special abilities of those cards we had in ways the developer did not intend. In ways we don't fully understand. It's only a year old, but the long story short is that by doing a couple of frame perfect inputs, we allow Nathan to get an aura around him, which radiates maximum damage at all times to everything on the screen. Pretty good for a speedrun. We call it nuclear radiation. We're going to go ahead and start with Mr. Bones. He didn't treat us right in Dracula 2, but hopefully he'll be better here. We have to line our knee up in this little piece in the back of the wall. We're going to do a couple frame perfect movements here for another bone float. We missed it. We'll set it up again. There we are. There we go. Now we're floating. Nathan's going to show us his katana collection for a second. Very cool dude. Now we put that away forever. That was cringe, Nathan. Summon our imp friend, and we're getting hugs. And now the imp is going to help us out by launching an attack. We're going to wait for a very specific size of this ball that he's launching. On the third frame here, we're going to input an attack. All right, we did it. Now, we're going to jump, stabilize, and you can see our hitbox is getting a little weird. That's okay, it's probably not a problem. We're just going to send our way back up to Dracula 2 here. Inch our way closer to the door. Dracula, we're coming for you. And Dracula's dead. We did it. Good work, everybody. We'll take this time before we move into Dracula 2 while we're watching the level ups happen to thanks Pace for letting me be here. It's a pleasure to show off the run for a game I'm very proud of and very happy with. It's a lot of fun. This game was difficult as a kid, so it feels good to come back and really beat it at this event here. I appreciate all the people here with me, giving me support on my run, all the people watching at home. And a special thanks to Garnatrex. He couldn't be here, we wish he could, but he's the one that taught me the run and inspired me to run the game the first time. If you like what you saw here, you should definitely check out some of the Castlevania handheld discords. We've got a great community, and it's a lot of fun to get involved in the runs. We do tournaments, randomizers, all sorts of stuff. So come check it out, come spend some time with us. We'd love to have you. Well, now we gotta have this cutscene happen again. Dracula's gonna trash talk us once more, but we're gonna be on the ceiling. It's gonna look kind of weird for him to talk to himself. Hugh runs in, probably wonders where Nathan's at, thinks it's no big deal, takes his dad and leaves. And of course, we remember how RNG-based Dracula 2 was last time. Let's see if we can do it. Get ready on time. And that's time. Transylvania saved a little bit faster, 341. Feels good, my man. Thank you guys so much for being here. It feels good to be here supporting Urban Arts. And I hope we enjoy the rest of our week at the event here.